Ah. I mean, I was just introduced. I think that this game in particular is my favorite fighting game because I like it a lot. And that's the end of my introduction. Aristo, please take me away.
Oh, Fred, I see you did actually get possessed by Elos, because that's like a 5 out of 10 introduction. Come on, man.
I'm trying my best. It's 3
Don't
in
worry,
the
don't worry,
morning.
man. We got you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen who are watching the stream. My name is Aristocrat. I've actually been playing Soku for about like 7 or 8 years now. I started like 2011, like casually on and off. So I've seen this game quite a long time. I'm quite glad that all of you have picked up this game recently, actually. It's a very good fighting game from the whole franchise. In some sense that rarely survives very long. You can look at what happened to AOCF to get an idea of what usually happens to these games. But Soku has pretty good net play. It's one of the few games, the other one being Immaterial Missing Powers, that actually gets a good netcode. So you can play anyone around the world in reasonable delay as long as their internet's not made of banjo strings. Honestly,
That is
I've
that is
never found another like PvP game that's this fun, like the 1v1 fighters. I
it
tried
really is.
play like Melty, Blade Blue. It's just not the same. I know Tessero's stressed by it, but I can't get into it. I like Toho's. I like playing as them. My main's Komachi. Fred somehow neglects to mention that. So who do you main, Fred?
I I mean the main character, surprisingly, because she has combos that are really neat. Ooh, I I disagree on a fundamental level. But that is wait, actually the main character would it be Chino? I thought it was Sanai. I see. That's interesting. So the main character of the entire franchise, then I suppose, Reimu Hakure, the one who is in great danger unless you give her all of your credit card information. Wow, that means old. Okay, so basically, Reimu has a lot of fancy stuff that she can do. She has some interesting things she can do in neutral. She has a lot of options and versatility, and in pressure, sure, her options are very different from other people. It's not necessarily based on how well you can read your opponent, but it's just on how well you can read how many levels of catches you throw into your pressure strings. And there's also a bunch of it means basically lots of people in pressure. They have a bunch of rock paper scissors games. Reimu has a lot more rock paper scissors games than other people, if that makes any sense. Like she's got a lot more options she can do, and she can force people to make a lot more guesses in order to actually escape successfully. And also her neutral is it's pretty dominating because she's got really good bullets. But other than that, she's also got a pretty standard, fair defense versus a lot of things. She has some moves that have janky hitboxes that let her escape or even combo off of other people's stuff. She's got skills like the permanent border Alt 214 that will actually let you combo off of other people's combos. I like that one a lot, but it's more of a crutch for a neutral because you have to sit on it, so you can't really move around as much. And genuinely, I think the movement in Soku is what makes it so good because it's such a big stage, or rather, it's probably because all of the characters are relatively tiny in comparison to other fighters. You have a lot more movement capabilities. Even the most immobile characters, like maybe Remelia, she still moves around a lot. She just has to do it very sporadically. Everybody moves so much in this game.
Yeah, you only have to move if you need to. I find that one of the best strategies that I have for dealing with someone I don't know how to beat. Just stand behind your bullets and make them come to you. A lot of them will just counter hit themselves onto the stuff you throw out. Violence may vary based on what character you pick.
Yeah, that's definitely sure. That's true. Sakuya Izayoi definitely comes to mind when I think of those. She's people have mixed feelings about Sakuya. I personally think that if people complain about her for having a bunch of 50/50s built into her character kit, it's kind of hypocritical because a lot of other characters have that built in. She just is very obvious about it. So the thing about Sakuya is once you get a knockdown in this game, when somebody is waking up, you have the opportunity to set up a move so that they won't be able to like just hit you when they're waking up because they have to, stand up. So that is the term okizeme, and Sakuya has several moves that really help with her okizeme, and you can use them in a certain way to force some really. Honestly, they seem unfair, but they're just honest. Like you push a button after a knockdown, you do the setup. If you guess the 50/50 right, you get a guard crush. Then you get another knockdown. You use another move because they're all very low cost spell cards, and you get another knockdown or another crush, and you can sort of snowball that into a one round or a one game. So if you have two orbs that are guard crushed, that means you can't use them anymore. So if you have 3 out of 5 of your spirit orbs left, you're gonna have less of an opportunity to actually win neutral because the other guy's gonna have more bullets than you. So if you have less of those, then it gives them the opportunity to push that advantage into more damage, into building more power through your hand and getting access to more cards.
Are we gonna get a Frisia again? Or are these guys not memers?
Well, it's interesting because anybody who is sufficiently new to the game is going to end up looking a little bit like a memer.
Do we have an IP yet? Still looking?
We do not. Yes. Yeah. Yes, that is kind of important. Each set of the Swiss is going to be a best of 3.
I do like the Swiss format. You know, the first term I ever joined back when I started this game was double elimination, and I got to play a grand total of 4 games, going 0-2 and then 0-2 again.
I
So
think
the
that's
Swiss format that challenge Princess, it's something that lets you get a good number of games no matter what.
Yukari.
So tell us a little bit more about these players, Raheem. So what about pivot lever? Well, that tells me who I need to root for.
Hmm.
Video too long. Oh no. Oh no. What have you done for
What
him? You
is
didn't
this?
double check your playlist.
Oh no, what's playing?
I seem to be unable to spectate. Give me a second.
They're using emoji. It's okay. So many players on the Hisoutensoku server, which is where both Aristocrat and I come from, we have an actual group of people that are dedicated just to this one. I mean the one in Hamachi? The Hamachi? Surrego. Oh, okay. God.
I'm not able to join. Post your IP so I can relay into it.
Okay, I can join. Interesting JTV
Huh.
So it seems like a lot of players will autopilot that gateway of their game, but it actually takes a little more finesse to use.
It doesn't seem like autopiloted to me, because he did confirm off of it. Looks like a pivot lever strategy is running away and then trying to getting into a melee. Pretty reliable, actually.
That's interesting. I've never seen somebody use that alt skill before. But it does look like plagued by
It clears the string, which is exactly what he needs in this matchup. Because the truly 6C, or in other words, the string of water bullets, it actually will clear. Ooh,
that
was a good try.
So now I'm curious, wouldn't just using a charged 5C kind of have the same effect?
It takes
Also,
too long to come out compared to just using this. And it covers above and below you as well, which doesn't really work if you have. Like, take a look here. Uzo is really good at clearing horizontally, but not like slightly above or below her. So as long as Pivot Lever doesn't get hit by those fireballs, he could be winning neutral right now. Blocking a bit more right now. Sarika is putting on pretty good chain of pressure. Oh
no, it's gonna be so cool.
Just a moment too late.
So it seems like Pivot Lever here, he's sort of getting hit in the throw a little bit. So what Sunsurega is doing, as most Apaches pass a certain point is they'll just push all their bullet buttons. So Apache has something special about her where she will actually regenerate his spirit more quickly than anybody else. And people play the character will use that as an opportunity to just spam bullets to gain them. But as you see right then, bullets will eventually run out. It's not infinite. It's more spirit than usual, but not nearly enough to actually keep up that level of spam.
It's not too bad actually. You can see that Sarika is usually staying above 3 orb. Yeah, and if it goes down, you can see Pivot Lever tries to go in, but gets hit anyway because it's really difficult to contend with this. I know I still lose to Zero Fuse sometimes because he just does this. It's very difficult and challenging to